from National Center for Earth Science Studies, Thiruvananthapuram. So here, a landscape that is the result of both physical, it is a completion when the physical landscape which allows the growth of a cultural landscape. So where, if you look at the physical landscape, where the geology as well as geomorphology plays a vital role in shaping the configuration of physical landscape. So Palakkad Gap is a particular morphoclimatic zone as we identified, and already the geological configuration, particularly the stratigraphic evolutionary characteristics, were already mentioned by different scholars in the last session. So it's the peculiarity of the land is not limited with its shape and morphology only. The land is plain to, it's a rolling surface. Second, the morphometry of the basin is comparatively different from other regions. And third, it is experienced numerous paleo landslides. There are numerous evidences. It is a area which experiences pediment-peδιplane complexes. So to get light on this, to present his views, the views on geomorphic wonders of Palakkad Gap, now I request Dr. P. Harinarayanan, an eminent scientist. He will present his views on geomorphic wonders of Palakkad Gap. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for inviting me to this wonderful program, actually, which is dealing with the wonders of Palakkad Gap, of course. So just, I am requesting you to imagine what would have been the condition if that gap was not there. Can you just imagine? What would have been the condition if that gap was not there? What would have been the climate condition? What would have been the rainfall situation? Just imagine. See, we get southwest monsoon in abundance. It would have been a continuum, right from both sides. It would have been a closed one. There would have been all type of plants and animals which is moving around, just like the other Western Ghat area. We would not have had the northeast rainfall at all. Just with southwest monsoon, we will be ending our monsoon season. That is one of the most important things. Just think about the other side, Tamil Nadu side. There would have been more rain shadow regions. Coimbatore would have been more drier, actually. Or Mettupalayam, or even Ooty, or up to Bihar hills. The situation would have been totally different. So if you go for a modeling study, you will find that there will be a lot of differences. Just like other parts of Kerala, Palakkad would have been a slopey area with less paddy fields, and we will not have this rice bowl in Palakkad at all. It would have been a common land in Kerala, and if you take the history, I am not talking about the geologic history which has already been debated in length and breadth in the morning, actually. No incursion of rajas or kingdoms from other part. Nothing else, actually. No transportation, no movement. So it would have been a tough time for us. So it's beautifully, actually, if you call it as a geological wonder or geomorphological wonder, it's a geomorphological wonder, no doubt. So how it happened, actually, we know that the geological history has been clearly, the synthesis has been brought out by Dr. Ampale, Dr. Seth, and others in the morning. And we were talking about how it should be made a heritage site. Whether it is a geological heritage alone, or a biodiversity heritage, or it's a geo-bio heritage. It's a combination of all, actually. The reason why we have a particular type of, all these type of paddy fields or other cultivation in this area, the wind circulation in this area is just because of this big gap, almost 40 kilometers or plus big gap. Then, as the morning we were talking about the shear zones and other things. And we were talking about the Madagascar relationship. Now you just think about the condition if there was a flow of a huge river. What we were discussing in the morning also actually. There was a erosion process which has built this one to this plain lands in basically in this area. But still there are a lot of differences, as the minister was pointing out about the soil in different areas. Even in very small local area there is a lot of differences. So what is the reason? There is another geomorphological or geological situation which we need to study a lot actually. There is a lot of soil differences. The cultivation difference is, see one time there was a lot of, Chittur area had a lot of sugarcane cultivation or cotton soil was available here. So what is the base for that soil? And the amount of rainfall what we get in Palakkad compared to other districts in Kerala is much different. So these are all features which has actually contributed to the economic development of the area. So economically also it is very, very, very important. It connects us to the different parts of the country. Why I am telling different parts is actually if you take the train service, we had only one line until very recently the Konkan Railway was opened. The entire country was connected from Trivandrum or from north from Kerala was through Palakkad Gap, and we were moving all the way to Delhi or Jammu wherever we want to go. The road transport, of course, the old moments of transport also. Now you think about the morning, the member secretary was talking about the anthropological activity also. You see the tribal communities difference? The two tribal communities on the southern and northern side are completely different. They are totally different actually. The Kada, the Malasa, the Mahamalasar on the southern side, Irular and Kurumba on the northern side. So how this difference came actually? Their culture is different, their activities are different. So lot of things actually, it is not simply a geological heritage or geomorphological important area. It is more than that. Historically, geologically and biologically it is very, very important area. So we were discussing about a geological park under UNESCO. It can be a cultural or geo-biodiversity or cultural park. Combining this, we have to think about as it is a wonder which can provide lot of opportunities to the state. Basically as a economically it is very important, and culturally it is very important. Then geologically it is much more important. As a student of geology, we know that lot of things are yet to come from this area. So with this I am stopping now. We will come back after first round. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will have a detailed discussion with Dr. Harinarayanan after the discussion by two more people. Now I request Dr. Brijesh KV to have a talk on Bharadapura, the lifeline for Palakkad district. Welcome, sir.
And there was a small presentation. Can you please? Okay. So thank you, one and all. So it's a very small presentation just to keep us all alive after a heavy lunch. So as we know, Bharadapura is the the mighty river that is flowing through the Palakkad Gap, and as Dr. Srijit was pointing out in the morning, and that is responsible for the whole erosional process that has happened in the gap area, and we have evidences for that also. Okay, thank you, sir. And but as a whole, Bharadapura is serving as the channel for groundwater. For all kind of domestic needs, we are depending on Bharadapura. So we have to take care the river channel as a whole, and as in the morning Minister was pointing out, there was around 10 dams are there in the whole Bharatapuzha basin, and more than that we have so many check dams in between. So when you look at the satellite picture of river Bharatapuzha in the basin, we will see that there is greenery up to a certain location, and beyond that it is the totally drier area. And then when there is a confluence of another tributary, again we have a check dam, then it is a greener area, again there is a drier part for the rest of the river. So like that it is there, and we are yet to conserve the river as a whole. Okay, now let us see what are all the things there. Next please. Next, please. Yeah, we know this. It is serving as the channel for three districts of Kerala. That is major part is the Bharatapuzha basin is in Kerala, major part is in Palakkad district, almost 80% is in Palakkad district. Then we have certain areas in Malappuram district and Trichy district as well. And then the Coimbatore district of Tamil Nadu is also there under the Bharatapuzha basin. And we have major tributaries like the Chittur, which is just flowing beside our college. And then the Chittur, or that is also known as the Kannadi river. And then we have the Gayatri Pura, just east of this. And then we have the Kalpati, the Korayar, Varettar, Valayar, and all the things. I mean, all the rivers coming from there. The Malambura is there. Then the major river that is contributing or that is keeping this Bharatapuzha alive during summer is the Tuda. The Tudapuzha or the Kundipuzha is the major tributary, and that is originating from the Silent Valley forests. And so this is the map actually. So you can see that the dams and all. So it is starting from the Anamale hills. Tirumurti reservoir is shown there. The Parambikulam Aliyar is there. Mangalam, Potundi, Mingara, Chulliyar. Then our Malambura, Kanjarapuza reservoir. These are all the major reservoirs, and that is how the river is still flowing. And now coming to the next, please. Okay. So as we know, why we are here is, it is an important gateway, and more than that, geologically, geomorphologically, it is an important area, and it is true that this mighty river is still flowing, and the conditions on the south and north is different, east and west is different, and that is how all the tributaries of the basin are experiencing different climate, different rainfall, and also different lithology as well. And accordingly, we are getting the water quality. Water quality is also different. The availability of water is also different. And when we go for the shallow reservoirs, the lateritic reservoirs towards the east, and when you go for the deeper hard rock crystalline aquifers to the east, then we will see that there is a marked difference. And when you see the quality, so we still, I hope, further south of this, I don't know whether here also the problem of scaling is there in Perumati and all. It is very much, the scaling problem is there. So the quality of water is also very much related to the rock types, the variety of rocks that we get, and also the rainfall, the amount of rainfall that we receive on different parts of the basin. Next, please. Yeah, I think it is well known, because you are making the mementos out of this Palakkad gap. Okay, next please. Yeah, this is the situation, that is how the basin is just like, it's an inclined basin actually. It is from the east to the west. The basin is like with a major slope towards the west. Okay, you can see, I don't know how far it is legible to you. That is from the east, it is inclined towards the east, western side of the basin, where the river is confluencing with the Lakshadweep Sea. And towards the southern side and the northern side of the gap, we have elevated regions, and accordingly, and also the geology is also slightly different. And this elevation difference is making, and that is also controlling the nature of the tributaries as well. As I told, the Tudapuzha river that is coming from the Silent Valley area, that is up to a certain point, that is, it is a mighty river which is bringing all the sand, all the sediments and water. And beyond that, that river, when you look at especially the satellite images, and of course with our old topo sheets as well, it is a highly sinuous river. It is which has reached the old or mature stage at least. But when you look at the other tributaries, they are following this, the slope may be controlling that, and in certain areas, when we see the Gayatri Pura and all, that is following the lineament up to a certain extent, and at Mayanur we have this river taking a 90-degree course, which we understand that that is just passing the Idamalayar lineament. So it is highly controlled by the lineaments and also the lithology of the terrain, and of course with the slope of the terrain. Yeah, next please. Yeah, we have already discussed this. Next, please. Yeah, this is the geological map, not much updated. It's an old, based on GSI map. I think there is no much differences so far. And this yellowish part is hornblende biotite gneiss, and towards the east we have Charnaketic region, and that yellowish region, yellow region are all lateritic portions. And towards the northern side we have even condylite area. Like that. So the basin itself is having an east and west demarcation, with the Charnakites dominating to the east and the hornblende biotite gneiss dominating towards the eastern side, and Charnakite towards the western side. Okay, so this is the geology, and we have the pink granitic gneiss and all together with intercalated with this main lithology. Yeah, next please. And this is what Dr. Hernandan was mentioning. The rainfall is totally different. The rainfall is again, the rainfall is also more towards the western region, and when you come to the east, rainfall is also almost half when you measure that. It is, when we go with the details, it is almost half. And there is a clear demarcating area towards Ottapalam, which is demarcating the two regions. And towards the east, we are getting very less rainfall, and when you go to the west, there is more rainfall, and also that the monsoon is also affecting that. The southwest monsoon is giving more water for the western side, and of course from the northeast rainfall also we are getting that. And towards the eastern side of the basin, the rainfall, normally we get more rainfall, and also in some areas we are getting water from the northeast rainfall alone, northeast monsoon alone. Okay, so that is the major difference between the areas. Yeah, next please. And these things, this geology as well as rainfall is affecting the total quality of groundwater that we get from this basin. And I'm sorry for that this total dissolved solids, when you go up to this Palakkad region at least, we are having somewhere around, or beyond that, I think there is a 300 milligram per liter, 300 ppm mark there, and that is somewhere near this Ottapalam region. And when you go further east, the TDS, total dissolved solids in the water, is increasing, and almost all ionic concentration is increasing when you go to the east. And beyond that, to west of that, it is still maybe some 250, 300 milligram per liter ppm quality of water is there. TDS is very much, that is potable water is present always everywhere there. But to the east, it is not like that. As you go to the east, it is still increasing. So again, there is a clear demarcation of that is totally aligning with the geology of the terrain, and also the rainfall pattern of the terrain, and of course that is which is controlling the recharge area, the recharge mechanism in the aquifers. Yeah, next please. Next please. And now, so there are so many local self-governments, municipalities and panchayats, but the river, and also some with Chaliyar, a very small portion with the Chaliyar, and some with this Karvenur or Chalakudi basin is also there. But majority are coming under this. And 5 panchayats on the western border of the district, Chaliseri, Anakara, Kapur, Nagalaseri and Tachanatugara, that are partially flowing, or they are giving water to the BM Kail or the Panani Kail region, and rest are coming under this. Okay, next please. And these are the 87 panchayats that is coming under Bharatapura, and their aerial extent is also given, and that are the municipalities which are coming under this. Okay, just. And these 5 watersheds contain streams ranging from first order to sixth order, and that is within this, all the watersheds we have the basins, the stream ordering from first to sixth order, and the total number of this, we have a table on that, we will see that. Next please. Yeah, I'm sorry, the size of this thing. And here, this is the top map is showing you all the basins, and that blue color is indicating the Bhavani basin. And that small green portion is for that, that is the Chaliyar basin. And this yellowish tint that you see, almost that is covering the entire region, is coming under the Bharatapuzha basin. And the smaller part is, the Niliyambadi part is, that is for Chalakudi river. And then the small portion towards the west, that is confluencing with, or that is debouching into the Ponnani Kayal or the BM Kayal region. And all these panchayats that are all, that are together, that are drainage, and also the panchayats are shown together with that. So why I want to show this map is, that is, all the panchayats are coming under the watershed of either almost 80% or more than that is coming with the basin of the watersheds of Bharatapuzha. And rest is with these other 4 watersheds. So when you conserve Bharatapuzha, or when you conserve the watersheds in each of the panchayats, even a small stream, when you conserve a hillock, that is, you are actually conserving the river Bharatapuzha. Or that is in the reverse order also. When you conserve Bharatapuzha, that is, when you conserve the soil, the sediment and water of Bharatapuzha, you are conserving the entire region, the entire watershed, entire panchayats. Okay, next please. Yeah, this is just the aerial extent, and I mean, actually this is the number of streams, the first order streams, second order streams, third order, like that. What is the number of streams and their area in square kilometer in each of the basins are given here. Chaliyar, Bhavani, Chalakudi and Bharatapuzha. Okay, next please. Yeah, I just wanted to mention 2-3 points. That is, when you go for river protection, how that is going to help us to work with the sustainable development goals. That is, so that will be aligning with the title of our conference. That is, how the protection of Bharatapuzha watersheds will be aligning with the sustainable development goals, at least the 3 sustainable development goals, which are, that is, clean water, which is sustainable development goal 6, and climate action, SDG 13, and life on land, SDG 15. Just we'll have a rush look through that. Next, please. Yeah, fresh water or clean water. Clean water means, that is, when you protect the surface water sources, that can help in groundwater recharge. Of course, there is a direct relationship. Dams and walls can be constructed to protect streams and rivers to increase their infiltration to the groundwater. And along with this, it should be ensured that no solid or liquid waste reaches these water bodies, because quality is also as important as quantity of water. Rainwater harvesting or groundwater recharge methods suitable for the soil and rocks in these water bodies can be implemented. It can also be done by planning agriculture and farming methods according to water availability. So that was what the Minister was explaining in the morning, precision farming and all. Yeah, next please. That is about the climate action, when especially in the era of climate change and when we have to work more. Every individual is responsible for whatever we can do, we have to do. It is in such a situation, the catastrophic effects of climate change will affect our lives in various ways. So the most obvious of these are floods and droughts. So when you are working in line with the conservation of these watersheds, we can check both. Floods can be avoided. I mean, at least we can mitigate the effects of floods and we can avoid a drought. Okay, so along with rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharge activities, we have to ensure the smooth flow of streams. Okay, of course, there is no harm if we check the river with check dams, but we should ensure that at least once in a year that is flushing out what are all there. Okay. Yeah, morphometric analysis. Normally we do the morphometric analysis, and that is why that is how we understand the morphometry of the entire region, by understanding different parameters, the form factor, all the factors that we understand, the elongation ratio, all these things. Then we understand that how far it is controlled by the bifurcation ratio, all the parameters we find, and then we understand that how these particular basins are controlled with. What are all the controlling factors? When a flood is happening, how this watershed, how this basin is going to react. So from these parameters, so a morphometric analysis with the new technologies and techniques, we have this, now you need not trace all the first order streams and all from the topo sheet. You have the SRTM or the DUMS. From that, within clicks, you are getting the morphometry of the basin, and with that, and after getting that particular data, we have to closely go through that data, and you have to identify how this particular terrain is behaving with this kind of climatic hazards. Okay, how can we check that? Is there anything to do with? And that also according to the conditions, the slope, the drainage, the network, and the geology, the soil type, like that. Yeah. Next, please. And the life on land, of course. These are all interlinked, and life on land means when you conserve especially the Silent Valley area, the Atapadi region, the Nelliyambadi region, all the biological hotspots and all. So when you conserve that, definitely the life on land is also conserved. So accordingly, we will be conserving, we will be realigning ourselves with these these sustainable development goals. So in that way, we can conserve and we can retain the mighty river through the Palakkad Gap. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Brijesh, for your presentation. Now I request Dr. Vandana on geomorphological evolution and landscape development. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, all. I also have one presentation, please. Okay. Today, I would like to discuss you about the Palakkad Gap, geomorphic evolution and landscape development. It's a discussion on one of the most prominent discontinuity in the Western Ghats. Next, please. We all know geomorphic evolution. What is geomorphic evolution? It's a long-term change in landforms due to different aspects like geological, climatical, and biological process. And the landscape development is a process which changes the form of a landform over the geological time. We all know about the W.M. Davis. After his postulation of landform is a function of, we all know, structure, process, and stage, there has been lot of studies about the landforms and explain their occurrences. Generally, the landforms are formed due to two processes, exogenetic and endogenetic. Exogenetic means surfaces, and endogenetic process are the forces coming inside the Earth's surface. And definitely, there is some natural and artificial perturbations are happening in the Earth's surface. After this perturbation, definitely erosion cycle will interrupted, and the tectonic and environmental changes are happening. Next. Next slide. Okay, this we already discussed in last section and this session itself. We know it's an Palakkad Gap, it's an east-west corridor and situated near 10°45' north latitude, and it's bounded by Nilgiri Hills in the north and Anmali Palani in south, and it's a remnants of plateau surface of Jurassic planation surface, and the major river system which make the geomorphological wonders in Palakkad Gap is definitely the Bharatapuzha. Next. And this is two maps which showing, one is the digital elevation model and the other one is the planation surface. Here we can see that there is a sudden change in the elevation. In the first map itself, it's showing that, in the dumb map, it's showing that there is a sudden change in the elevation in this Palakkad Gap. At the same time, this planation surface map also shows that low-level planation surfaces is identified in the planation surface map in the Palakkad region. Next, please. This also we already discussed. It's a structural framework. We know Moyar Bhavani shear zone and Palakkad Kaveri are the major shear zones. These shear zones represent deep crustal structural weakness, and these are played a major role in tectonical evolution of this region. Next. This is the map which shows a generalized geology of southern granulate terrain. In this terrain, southern granulate terrain, our Palakkad Gap is found, and here we can see the shear zones of Bhavani Moyar shear zone and Palkad Kaveri both are shown in this geology map, and the other one is also showing the physiographic map. On that also we can found the different mountains, especially Nilgiri and Palani hills are found in this. Here also we can see the Palkad Ghat. Thank you. Next please. And this is the generalized geology. We know hornblende biotite is the major, and charnockite also found here. And the geochronological study shows that it's formed during the Mesoarchean to Neo-Archean period, and later, and it's the time. And the multiple emplacement ages are found. It's 2.9 GA to 522 MA. Next, please. This is plateau landforms and Palkad Gap. This is, according to Subramanian et al. In 1978, they are saying that plateau landforms are characterized by lateritic bauxite capping traced at an elevation of 1,980 to 2,285 on the Nilgiri hills on the north and Palani hills in the south of the Palkad Gap. And the morphological characteristics of the plateau landforms of the Palani and Nilgiri are symptomatic of old age, but below the edge of the plateau landform, the topography is youthful. It indicates the evidence of the elevation of Jurassic surface from its base level of erosion to its present high level deposition in post-Jurassic time by the tectonic processes. Next, please. According to Vaidyanathan, it states that the elevation of Charnockite hill masses of South India are due to the repeated uplift along the major fault. Palkad Gap came into being a trough in between this hill. Crustal upwarping results the gradual uplift of continental crust may bring into being a dome and depression with considerable elevation. This upwarp of Jurassic surface would be resulted in the development of tensional stress in the brittle rocks, leading to the formation of these joints and fractures and fractured rocks. And the hornblende biotite gneiss exposed in this grab area, comparatively soft, and foliation plains in this comparatively weaker genesis, rendered to the easily susceptible weathering and erosion than the Charnockite rocks. So the erosion is higher in this hornblende biotite area. Jurassic area of the oldest sediment in the coastal basins, where a testimony active erosion. Jurassic age oldest sediments are found in the coastal basins, give an idea that there was a high active erosion in the hinterland, suggesting Palkad Gap support terrain evolved over time of Jurassic to recent. Next. It's a big controversy if it is a fluviatile or marine erosion. And there also one researcher, Agro Goswami, in 1962 says that the presence of concrete limestone in the bedded patches of black clays containing gypsum in Coimbatore give the evidence of marine erosion in the area. But at the same time, the other researcher object this study, and he says that limestone is a canker derived from hornblende biotite gneiss, and the black clay patches symptomatic desiccated lakes in the Coimbatore area adjacent to Palkad Gap suggest a terrain was watered by past streams. Vaidyanathan itself suggests that westerly flowing paleo drainage system originating near Palkad Gap might be flow westward, and it was considered that Vadapura river is a successor to that westerly paleo channel, and it became existence in post Myo-Pliocene times captured by Proto-Amaravati. Next. This is one of the interesting map that prepared by Subramanian et al. In 1984. It's an old one. They prepared using the Landsat image and find out different paleo channels in the Proto-Amaravati and Bhavani region and Bharatapuzha. And it shows that there are connection between these rivers. I think there is more studies are not coming after this study. Next, please. These are some of the recent studies about the Bharatapuzha. It's an hypsometric curve. Hypsometry, we all know, it's a non-dimensional measure to understand the geomorphic evolution of an area and tectonic evolution of a basin. Here we can see they are done this study using 29 subwatersheds and find out that 62% of the subwatersheds are coming under concave upward nature. It is indicate that still this region is under old stage of the topography. Next, please. This is another indicator using for this geomorphic analysis, that is asymmetric factor, and it is also to understand the tilting of the basin. If the basin, we will get the asymmetric factor equal to 50, then there will be no change. If we have get the value below or above 50, then we can say there will be a tectonic tilt on the basin. And here also that value of AF is calculated for all subbasin and value ranges from 12.87 to 84.74. And it is considered 40 to 60% of the normal value of AF of the steady area. 54 basins are falling under normal range and 81 are showing higher AF value. So there may be a chance of tilting in this basin. And higher and lower value consider anomalies and may suggest geological or structural influence in this basin. Next slide, please. This is a Singh et al. Done in 2016, one of the river deflection and sinuosity index. Here also they done 22 stretches of the rivers and sinuosity index value ranges from 1.6 to 3.38. The river show change in direction of flow and river values on either side of the northwest to southeast trending lineament. Those drainage systems showing a change in the direction and drastic changes in sinuosity values. It's also showing some structurally controlled or strong evidence of presence of active fault or neotectonism in this region. Next slide. This is one of the study done by our team. It's a rock-water interaction and chemical weathering of solute transport in two rivers draining in the different climate gradient. Here we take two rivers. One is in the upper catchment of Bhavani and the other one is the Thudapura River Basin. Here we can see there is a drastic change in the rainfall pattern of this region. This study highlights the interplay of climatic factors and geological characteristics of the terrain, and it will significantly influence the natural characteristics of solute transport through river in this study area. Next, please. To conclude, the extensive and pronounced low-level landform of Palkat Gap are result of deep-seated crustal development followed by formation of joints and fractures in the brittle rocks, which accelerate fluvial erosion. Far from being merely a river valley, a Palakkad Gap represents a significant crustal shear zone that was later reshaped by river action, intense tropical weathering. Palakkad Gap illustrates how deep crustal processes and surface dynamics interact over geological time, and study of such landscapes is not only understand the past but also prepare future environmental changes in the era of increasing human influence. With this discussion, I would like to say that Palakkad Gap is really a geomorphic wonder, but still it lacks lot of studies. Recently, lot of new analysis are coming, especially remote sensing, GIS mapping, and carbon dating, TSOSL dating, sedimentological analysis. All that will make good results and findings. and it will make Palakkad Gap really a geomorphic wonder. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana. So the session is now open for discussion, interaction. And it is already mentioned by the three scholars that Harinarayan sir and Dr. Brijesh and Bandana that the absence of sufficient amount of data regarding various issues. A study recently conducted by Jinsi, and in that team myself is also the part, where we mentioned that nearly 45% of the total area have the normal pH, and non-saline categories coming under nearly 98% in case of Palakkad Gap. It has been identified. And the nature of the rolling surface is allowing the Palakkad Gap to a peculiar soil composition, and that is not only by the physical parameters, it is also may also the presence of various microbes at different levels may responsible for the differential characteristics of its soil composition. So in this light now invite the participants to join with our panelists. If you have any questions, queries from your side, then you can ask.
So I think I will start.
Anyone's?
Yeah. So since you have told about the Bharatapuzha River and its morphometric indices which has been put forward, whether any such study has been done with relationship with the geomorphic indices and morphometric factors, so that the evolutionary history of the Bharatapuzha and Palakkad Gap could be related. That is one question. And the second question is that in the Bharatapuzha, most of the time what we see is that, especially when it is towards the, when we go through the train in Ottapalam area and all those things, only in the rainy season we see water. Otherwise, it's full of sand. So, means we see the sand and the floodplains, or there is no discrete difference between the floodplain and the river channel. So, in an economic point of view, whether the sand mining, if we do sand mining in the Bharatapuzha River, whether any change is going to happen, because that part is in the economic point of view I am asking. So that is the second question. And third question is that in Deshamangalam area, we used to get continuous earthquake or tremors. So whether this Palakkad Gap area is neotectonically active, whether any such findings are there with respect to this tremors that is happening in the Deshamangalam area, and whether it is related to the water quantity in the Bharatapuzha River. So whether any such advanced studies has been done.
Regarding your first question, personally I have not done that part, I have just calculated the morphometric parameters and all. And the second question, it is the sand mining in the Bharatapuzha has affected, and our village is one of the victims, where large amount of sand mining was that was carried out, and from the next summer onwards, all the wells which were otherwise totally perennial, we are not getting water now. And up to the Tirunavaya, Tavanur region, we are having salt water during the summer season. And so the second thing is, that is while the one thing is, of course, why the wells have gone dry is because just direct impact of the sand mining in the riverine region, and the base flow is totally cut because of the destruction of one thing is, of course, the destruction of the forest region, and second thing is destruction of the small hillocks that were all the water tanks to from where the small tributes were joining the different basins of Bharatapuzha. And the third thing, I think the paper by C.P. Rajendran sir and Biju John, they have discussed that the Deshamangalam region, that is some neotectonic activities, that has activated the 2001 minor tremors in that region. And beyond that, personally, I have not carried out any kind of that work. Thank you.
I was just asking because most of the times when we study about the drainage basin evolution, we only restrict ourselves to the morphometric analysis. So morphometric analysis alone cannot, because it's purely mathematical analysis which we do or statistical analysis which we do. But if you relate it with the geomorphic indices and other aspects like these type of studies, I think you will be better able to relate it with again the Palakkad gap and the present morphology. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there any more queries from anyone? Ma'am, there is one recent investigation we have made with Dr. Pankajakshan and team. Near to Patambi, there is a clear bench to Bharatapura where the hypsometric integrals are indicating some unevenness. That is further investigations are going on. It is indicating the reactiveness of neotectonics over the region. Already we have made such investigations in different parts of the country. So again, we are going with the same investigation here. So close to Patambi, there is the hypsometric integrals are set, showing the abnormality. So the investigations are under progress. Second, beyond the traditional morphometric analysis, there are numerous indicators, indices are there to know about the drainage pattern. Based on that, investigations again, the pattern of drainage in the Palakkad gap is different from other morphometric characteristics of other river basins in Kerala. And that again indicating what, it have a different evolutionary sequence. And the nature of backwasting, which is happening in different parts of Western Ghats, are different from in case of Palakkad gap. The pediment pediplain complexes which is available in the foothills of Nilgiri as well as of Palani are comparatively different. So these are the part of lighter investigations, and its conclusions are drawn in the report which is submitted to Government of Kerala to KSSG through. So the investigations are still going on, so we need additional investigations and data need to be generated. The team is working in that direction, but there are numerous opportunities for further research is waiting in case of understanding the geomorphic evolution of Palakkad gap. Because the area is untouched in terms of its research. So the generation of data is much awaited now. So thank you one and all. So on behalf of the organizing committee, team organizing, we extend our sincere gratitude to our panelists, Dr. Harinarayanan sir, Dr. Brijesh, and Dr. Vandana for being the part of this panel discussion. Thank you all once again. Thank you very much.
Now, let us invite Mr. Pankajakshan sir to hand over the memento. Okay. I request Dr. P. Harinarayanan to receive the momentum as a token of appreciation. Now, I invite Dr. V.K. Brijesh to receive the memento. Dr. Vandanayam. As we come to the close of the session, I now invite... I request Dr. Sadish Chotudi to receive the momentum as a token of appreciation. As we come to the close of session, I now invite Pankajakshan sir to propose the vote of thanks.
Respected Chairperson, distinguished panelists, esteemed faculty members, dear participants and guests, it's my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this intellectually enriching occasion. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished panelists for sharing their profound insights, valuable experiences, and thoughtful perspectives. Your engaging deliberations, critical reflections, and constructive arguments have greatly enriched our understanding of the theme. The clarity, depth, and diversity of viewpoints presented today have made this panel discussion truly meaningful and impactful. I sincerely thank our esteemed chairperson, Dr. Sadish Chotodi, for moderating the session and ensuring a dynamic, balanced, and focused interaction among the panel members. Your guidance added coherence and academic rigor to the discussion. I also express my gratitude to Dr. P. Harinarayanan, Senior Principal Scientist, Kerala State Council for Science and Technology, Science, Technology, and Environment. Your guidance added coherence and academic rigor to the discussion, and my appreciation extends to Dr. V.K. Brijesh, Associate Professor of Geology, MES College, Pannani. I would also like to acknowledge Dr. Vandana M., Research Associate, National Center for Earth Science Studies, for her meaningful academic dialogue. Once again, on behalf of the organizing committee, I extend our sincere gratitude to all. Thank you.
Thank you. I request all the delegates to kindly move towards the auditorium on the first floor and enjoy the refreshments arranged for you.